everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am filming an Instagram Q&A, even though I already technically did it already on Instagram. But I think it was last weekend. I was pretty lazy, I had stuff to do, I had to lesson plan, but I didn't really feel like doing any of it. So I put up an Instagram question on my Instagram story and asked you all to tell me how your day was or ask me any question you wanted to ask. And I'm actually surprised. I low-key expected to only get like 3 questions, but I got quite a few, and I already did answer a big majority of them on my Instagram story, but it wasn't until after I did it that I realized I could have made this into a YouTube video. I'm so dumb. So here I am now, filming it in a YouTube video because I feel like there's only so much you can say in an Instagram story that's only on your screen for 15 to 20 seconds and you don't really have that much space. So I thought I would also answer some of the questions again. I didn't answer all of the questions that I got, and I probably won't put all of them here in this video or on the screen because I don't want this video to be super long. So let's get into it. If you are interested in watching this video, definitely click subscribe and like this video, and yeah, let's get into it. I'm going to be looking at my phone to look at the questions that I got and also look at what I answered because honestly I cannot remember, even though it was just last weekend. The first question that I answered is favorite thing about living in Sejong. I'm moving there in a month. In Instagram I answered that Sejong is in the middle of Korea, so it's very easy for you to travel around Korea. Seoul is an hour and a half by bus and by train if you're going on the slow train. If you're taking the KTX or the bullet train, it can take an hour, so it's really not far away. You have the Cheongju airport, which is very close. If you need another airport, there's the Daegu airport, which isn't that far away at all. It's pretty centrally located, so it's very easy for you to be able to go to the north, the east, the west, and the south. I really like that about Sejong. It's also very close to Daejeon, which is a pretty good sized city. Another thing that I really like about Sejong that I didn't really think about until after I was here for a while is that Sejong is very clean compared to a lot of other very big cities because Sejong wasn't built very long ago, so it's very clean. It feels like the buildings are shiny and brand new. There's really not a lot of trash on the streets. The next question I answered is, where's the next city after this corona stuff chills out? Do you want to do a day trip vlog too? There's so many places that I want to visit, so many places in Korea that I want to go to. In the list I put Daegu, Ulleungdo Island, Ulsan, and Jeonju. I was actually really planning on going to Ulleungdo Island when I went to Gangneung for a week, but the ferry is like $120 and I was only going to be there for a day. So it just didn't seem worth it to me. There's just so much to see and do in Korea. So much to see and do in Korea. Every time I feel like I've seen or done too much, I discover something new that I want to go to. And I'm just like, will I have enough time to see what I want to see? And that just makes me think, like, if that's how I feel about Korea, like there's so many things to see and do, then can you imagine every other country in the world? Like there's just so much in this world for us to see and do and explore that I just want to take advantage of as much of it as I can while I'm here in Korea. Next question. Any plans or goals for this week or month? So when I answered this question, the goal that I put for this week is go to work and stay home because coronavirus cases has been going up in Korea. If you haven't been hearing, we're kind of going on like a second wave, I guess you could say. It's a little bit stressful, honestly, but right now there are a lot of cases that have been found because a few weekends ago there was a rally and protest and a lot of people went to that event. Yeah, it's just becoming a lot here in Korea right now. So for the time being, I have no plans to go anywhere for the weekends except to stay home or go for food or groceries if I need that. But yeah, I have no intentions of going anywhere or traveling. If I do, then it would be only in Sejong, and even at that I don't know if I feel completely comfortable going around Sejong because there's not a lot of cases being found in Sejong, but there are like a few, so I just don't want to risk anything or take my chances. So at the moment, I'm just staying at home. My goals for this month, honestly, sleep in more, because I feel like sometimes traveling so much or doing so much can be really overwhelming. So I just want to use this time to rest and recover and relax and honestly edit a lot of footage, because I have so much stuff that I need to edit and just put out there. So yeah, that's my goals for this month. Next question, how is the COVID-19 situation over there? So I pretty much answered this. It's not very good right now. It's actually really not good right now. I feel like when people hear the numbers, they think, oh, that's nothing when you compare it to the US or other countries. But you have to remember that Korea is a very small country. So for Korea, this is not good. I believe even the CDC said yesterday or the day before, if things keep going the way that they are going, we could start seeing 800 to 2,000 new cases a day from next week. And that would be insane for Korea. That would be really, really bad. To summarize it, the situation right now in Korea is not very good. I really hope that things will get better. Next question, how much do you spend on a trip, as in transportation, food, etc.? This honestly really depends on the trip. So it depends on if I'm going to a very, very far location. It depends if I am going for filming like a YouTube video, like if I'm planning on filming a vlog. It depends on if I'm just going there just to enjoy and relax and not worry about content and making and YouTube and stuff like that. It depends on if I'm going with friends or if I'm going with one friend or like a group, or if I'm going solo. So that really affects how much I will spend. So in the post I said if it's a weekend trip, I will say around 100 to 175 US dollars. It honestly just really depends on the transportation, the accommodations, what I'm doing, the attractions and food and stuff like that. Someone commented this on one of my other videos, that I should make a plan a trip with me kind of video where I show you all how I pretty much plan my trips, like the planning stages and budgeting and all that kind of stuff. Since traveling isn't really an option right now, I thought I would do that for a past trip that I've already taken. So I will definitely be filming that video. Let me know if you want to see that video. I'm really excited for that. Next question. You are deadass one of my favorite Korea content creators. Why are you so slept on? Thank you so much. Honestly, I still think it's a little bit weird. I don't know. Even though I have a very small audience, it's still an audience, and that means a lot to me. Like when I first started posting on my channel and even made my first video, like I really didn't expect people to watch it, or for people to watch any of my videos, to be very honest with you. And whenever I get comments from people like this that say that they really enjoy my content, or that it helped them to get into EPIK or to get a job in Korea, or it just encouraged them to do something out of the ordinary and something that they've been wanting to do for so long, that just makes me so happy to see that my words and my voice made an impact on someone's life. Like that's just so incredible and special, and that's why I started this channel, just to share my experience of living abroad, teaching abroad, working abroad, traveling abroad, and hoping that it would inspire someone else to do something that they never thought they would ever be able to do. So yeah, that makes me really happy, and I'm just glad that people watch my videos and actually like vibe with it. I don't know, like that means a lot to me. So thank you so much to all of you that watch my videos and support me. Any advice for people who are scared to apply to EPIK, scared of rejection? So like I said in the answer that I gave on Instagram, EPIK is becoming more and more competitive. It was already competitive even when I applied, just because there were so many people kind of advertising it on YouTube, which is good for EPIK, but for those that are applying, not so good, because it's like more and more people are applying every single year. And it's not just people from America, it's people from the UK, people from Ireland, people from New Zealand, people from Australia, people from South Africa, even Canada. So many people apply to this program, and it's just increasing every year more and more. So I understand that fear, even if it's not that you're scared of not getting in because there's so many people. just fear of change, and I get that. That's totally valid. And what I answered is that you should just 100% go for it. If you know that this is something that you want to do, just go for it, because to apply to EPIK is completely free. So it's not like you're paying something, at least. So it doesn't hurt to try. And I know for me, I honestly and truly did not expect that I would actually move to Korea. I would actually get into the program. I didn't even think that I would actually apply. And eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. And if it happens, it happens. And we'll see how things work. And it worked out. So I think you should just 100% apply, because it's completely free. It's free to apply, so it doesn't hurt. And at least from the time you apply to when interviews start, if you apply the very first day, you have about a month or more or so to be able to prepare for the interview, to be able to think more about it and think, is this really what I want to do? Am I going to keep going with this? So you have time, at least. And another thing is that I had a lot of backup plans in case I didn't get into EPIK, because I think at a certain point I realized this is what I want to do, and I'm going to go 100% with this. If I don't get into EPIK, then I'll find another way to get into Korea and teach, or at least go for another country. There are other programs in Korea that are not just EPIK. Unfortunately, with the way things are kind of set up with the coronavirus, that's kind of affecting a lot of programs. And also, EPIK is also, a lot of these smaller programs are kind of being part of EPIK, if that makes sense. Honestly, a lot of these programs, you can find them on Google, and people have made videos about these programs and blog posts and things like that. But coronavirus is changing a lot of this stuff. But just know that EPIK isn't the only way to be able to come to Korea and teach, if you know that teaching in Korea is something that you want to do. Next question, would you ever consider teaching at an international school in Korea? So this was actually my plan, because I am certified to teach middle school and high school science. Originally, my plan was to teach with EPIK for 2 years or so, and then transfer to an international school here in Korea and teach science in a middle school, preferably. And during my research of looking more into international schools, I realized some things. First of all, I realized that in order to teach in an international school, a lot of them require teaching experience, at least 2 years of teaching experience from the country that you are certified in. I would need 2 years of full-time teaching experience in a middle school or high school teaching science, and I don't have that because I came to Korea right after graduation. So I already don't have full-time teaching experience. I have internships and my student teaching, but that isn't full-time teaching experience. Another thing that I realized is that a lot of the teachers that I've seen in international schools here in Korea, and this is also honestly and truly kind of common in other countries as well, a lot of the teachers in international schools are a lot older. There are some that are young, like in their 20s and early 30s, but a good majority of them that I've seen are a lot older and are not usually Black or people of color. I don't know, it's kind of discouraging when you see a lot of older people, a lot of white people, honestly, like white people with like gray hair or close to gray hair as international school teachers. And at least to me, as a very young Black woman who doesn't have teaching experience, full-time teaching experience in a science classroom, it feels very discouraging. Like, why even bother? Like, they're not gonna hire me kind of thing, you know what I mean? So I've looked into it. I really would love to, but I don't think it will happen. But who knows? If a school really needs a science teacher badly, then that could be a possibility. Next question. How or what motivated you to move to Korea? By the way, I love all the content you upload. Thank you. I've kind of mentioned this before in a little bit in this video, but very, very long story short, you can watch my video of how I convinced, or not convinced, how I told my parents that I was moving to Korea. I will leave that video linked up above for you, but that pretty much explains how and why I decided to move to Korea, and how I told my very strict, overprotective Nigerian parents that I was moving to Korea. Didn't ask them for permission. I was telling them that I was moving to Korea. And I told them like 2 months before, 2 or 3 months before I was moving. So yeah, it's a very interesting story. So you should definitely watch that video. But why I picked Korea? So I didn't initially think that I was going to come to Korea. When I was looking at teaching abroad and teaching internationally, I looked at a whole bunch of countries. There are so many countries that you can teach in, not just Korea. Let me make that very clear. You can teach in so many countries. Please do not limit yourself to just Korea. There's so many opportunities all over the world. But I was very between two countries, Korea and the United Arab Emirates. So I was really considering teaching in Dubai or somewhere in the Middle East. And if I were to teach there, I would be teaching in my subject field. I would be teaching science. I really, really thought I was going to teach there. But ultimately, I decided to go with Korea, even though I probably would be making a whole lot more if I decided to teach in Dubai compared to Korea. And I'd obviously be teaching science. But yeah, I decided to go with Korea for just the benefits that I saw with the EPIK program, and I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to do, especially since this is my first year of teaching full-time. So, well, it was to be my first year of teaching full-time, so for me it felt like that was the right direction to go into. But I've definitely considered possibly moving to the UAE and teaching science after Korea. I don't know if that'll happen. Who knows? It may happen. I don't know. But yeah, that was how I decided on teaching in Korea. Next question. Does Sejong feel lived in? Convenience stores, cinemas, and parks, etc. Or does it feel like a construction site? So, so Sejong has convenience stores, it has parks, it has movie theaters, we have shopping stores, we have H&M and stuff like that. Like, don't worry. There is a little bit of construction now. When I first came, a year and a half or so ago, there was definitely a lot more construction. Like, just thinking about how much Sejong City has changed since I first came here, there are definitely a lot more buildings, a lot more apartment complexes, which it seems to never end here. But if you're a very big city person, or if you like the nightlife, like clubs and lots of bars and seeing like a lot of really young people, Sejong is not for you. Like, no, don't come to Sejong. It's really not, it doesn't get lit, basically. If you're looking for that kind of city, then you're probably going to be going to Daejeon a lot on the weekends, which is very close by, or you'll spend a lot of your time going to Seoul. But yeah, Sejong doesn't really have that kind of nightlife because Sejong is very much like a family city. When Sejong was built, it was really made so that the government, some of the government official buildings from Seoul could be moved to Sejong. Sejong is more centrally located in Korea, so in case there was some kind of attack or something in Seoul, then at least Sejong is in the middle of the country. And it's also a lot easier for people to access because it's in the middle of the country. So a lot of government officials, a lot of government workers work here and live here. And they live here with their families. So there are a lot of skyscraper apartment buildings here, a lot of government buildings. So even though, yes, we have convenience stores, we have the movies, we have parks and things like that, I feel like, and I say this a lot in my videos, Sejong just feels like tall apartment buildings. Like, it just feels like apartment complexes, and that's it. And I've definitely discovered that there's a lot more to Sejong now that I've been traveling around Sejong and trying to see what there is to do here. There are things to do and see, and I have a whole playlist of all that kind of stuff that I've done in Sejong, but it's definitely not the most interesting city in the world. If you like a very small, slow-paced city, then Sejong is the one. But yeah, don't expect to be able to go to clubs and things like that here in Sejong. So the last question is, how did moving to Korea change your relationship? Is long-distance relationship working for you? It's hard. it is hard. I have some videos on my channel all about long distance relationships and my tips, and I have one that I did with my boyfriend on my channel. I'll link them up on the screen somewhere for you to see. But it is hard, even though it's been a year and a half that I've been in Korea. It's been, technically, my boyfriend and I have always been in a long distance relationship, technically, but we can say 2 years we've really been long distance, 2 years. And it's hard, it's really hard. Sometimes I feel like it gets easier a little bit with more time, like you kind of get used to it. But at the same time, it's still hard because you want to be with that person, you want to see that person, you want to not be so far away from them. And it can be a lot on you, it can be a lot on your partner, it can be emotionally draining, mentally draining. It's hard. This summer, my boyfriend was supposed to come to Korea and visit me, and I was going to take him all over Korea, take him to Seoul and Busan, and we were gonna go to Japan, and we had all these plans and we're so excited, but obviously with Corona that didn't happen. To me, I feel like long distance just really makes you, well, it makes me feel even more sure that I want to spend time with this person, like I actually want to be in a relationship with this person, because I feel like so many times in relationships people are just with someone just to say that they have a partner, or just to say that, you know, they're loved by someone, even if you don't really love each other, or just to have that title of, oh, I have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or I have a partner. I don't know, like he means more to me than just like a title or just something to show off. So I feel like being so far away from each other for so long, it just makes me feel like if we've been able to do this for so long, I want to be with you. I want to spend my life with you. I'm not gonna get emotional on YouTube. Oh no, I'm not gonna cry. But yeah, I feel like it's hard. Long distance is really hard. And even though we've been doing it for a while, it's still not easy. But at the end of the day, I still love him and I want to be with him, and I just want to be with him. Yeah, and I feel like long distance really makes you see that and be able to reflect on what you want and what your partner means to you. I feel like I kept saying the same thing over and over. I really hope I didn't. But yeah, basically, long distance relationships really suck, but I feel like you can learn a lot about yourself and what you want in a partner. And you can also learn a lot about your partner by experiencing being in a long distance relationship. I feel like this video is already super long, so I'm gonna end it here. But thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for all of you that submitted questions and kind words and things like that. That really means so much to me, that people actually watch my videos and like, I don't know, like what? People actually watch my videos and stuff? I don't know, that's just so weird to me. But thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you for always cheering me on. Thank you so much. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!